you do a college basketball game if it come and all of a sudden your two teams that are in the finals, or I'm just going to throw two teams out there. Let's say it's Louisville against North Carolina or Duke, either one, and everybody bids on that, and you had to pick one place. Where could you pick a place? I mean, inside a dome, you'd have to build it up. I mean, or would you?
I thought you were talking about basketball. I was about to say, if it's basketball, it already is a dome.
Yeah.
So for that, it's just it would come down to either Charlotte, but that would almost be too much of a home game if it was for North Carolina versus Louisville.
But you wouldn't be able to. But so many fans get in there.
Yeah.
So you'd have to hunt.
Well, it would have to be. It would have to be an NBA stadium, or it would have to be like they have gone now, football stadiums that they just build the hardwood on there. So it couldn't be Panther Stadium because they're still not a dome.
Nope.
You would have to go to Georgia, which that's where if I'm not mistaken, that's where the next. It was just held in Minneapolis, up there at the Vikings. Next year for college basketball, it's being held at the Superdome or the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. So that it would fit that way, but like we were getting at, if it was Oregon to get in against like a North Carolina or one of the ACC schools predominantly on the East Coast, and they were holding it in Atlanta, there's no way in Oregon, and like Kevin said, they would hold the game on a Monday night. Why would somebody from Oregon fly all the way out to Atlanta to watch a late game for East Coast time for them to? It's easier to go back west though because you gain hours. But even still, the fact that you would have to fly there then fly back to make it back for work on a Tuesday, you're not going to have any Oregon fans. It's basically going to be an ACC or whatever East Coast team has made it home game. Yeah. That's what hurt when me and Carson went to Atlanta. If you and that's what they said about the Super Bowl. It was on the East Coast. It was in Atlanta. It was more like a Patriots home game because there were more Patriots fans there than Rams fans because nobody from the Los Angeles wanted to fly out to Atlanta. So I don't know how to fix that for some people, for some teams, especially the West Coast teams obviously hurt more than the East Coast teams because there are more East Coast teams and their larger demographic is the East Coast than it is the West. So
we're going to have to change the time zones, Terry. What do you think about that?
Well, you probably could.
Well, if we go two time zones, east of the Mississippi and west of the Mississippi.
Yeah. That's just like last night's game. I'm quite sure there's a lot of people who stayed up and watched it on account of today's Saturday.
I stayed up and watched it.